Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to be with you today. I'm Donna Kappen, and I am a biblical life coach and the founder and president of Wild Dream Mentors. My specialty and my love and passion is people. Hey, Alex, I'm happy that you're with me today. My passion is helping people identify, yes, and I see you. Identify what are the things that are hindering you from achieving what it is that you know is your God-given calling. Every one of us, oh my goodness, every single one of us are here for such a special purpose. And there's no exception to the rule. See that thumb? See how original that is? Your fingerprint is completely all about you. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about what it takes to make your man or the man that you want to draw to you. How do you draw that man in if you're single? How do you make him want to adore you? And that is, no, you're not looking, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Alex, but how do you want to draw that man in? And, I see. Well, this topic is really going to be all about what makes you a confident, powerful, attractive woman that makes others drawn to you, especially your man. So that's going to be my topic today, and I'm going to be talking to you about first of all, I'm going to be talking about three different things. Number one, I'm going to be talking to you about what happens when you have two people that are totally in love, and then all of a sudden, he is looking in a different direction, or the passion and the fire that once was between them has just fizzled out. We're going to be talking about what causes that. Number two, we're going to be talking about how to bring it back. And number three, we're going to be talking about why those sparks go away. And number three, we're going to be talking about what you can do to be just an absolute, confident, independent, influential woman that draws people to you so that you can increase your influence on them. Honestly, all of us want to have influence, whether we have influence with our family, with our kids, with our husband, with our man, with our boss, with our clients. We want to be positioned to be women of power and influence. Hi, Izzy. I'm happy that you joined today. But what's the key to all of this? So the first thing that we're going to talk about, how do you know if he really loves you, and what happens? What do men have to say? And I'm actually going to quote three different things that men say absolutely kills their love for their wife. And the concept here is a woman's insecurity will kill a man's love like poison on a flower. I mean, you're like, what? How does that? Constant state of neediness, constant state of feeling like you need them to tell you that you're beautiful, tell you that you're okay, tell you that you're loved, constantly making them feel like they have to fill your tank because you don't have that confidence in yourself. Girls, that right there will kill even a good man's love, even a man that truly loves you, because that neediness devastates. Now, this is really important. That neediness is toxic to a man, and it actually devastates his ego and drains the energy. Yes, it does. Oh, yes, it does. But absolutely it does. As a matter of fact, I had a talk with my granddaughter last night. I thought this was really interesting. This is a little out of order in my talk, but I think the timing is right. And we were talking about, she's not dating anybody right now, and she was dating, no being needy, Alex. She was actually talking about this relationship she had, and I was just asking her what was right about it, and she said, oh, he's way too needy for me. And she said, And the first thing she said, I knew there was a problem. Within the first couple of weeks of us being together, he was telling me he loved me and he thought we were going to get, he was basically our future was all about being together. And she said, and that was way too soon. Now she is just 16 years old and she's already recognizing that pushed her away from him, and actually within a very short time she was completely backing away and the relationship felt like way too much work. And I thought that was very insightful for a 16-year-old girl. So what exactly happens in a relationship? How does this work? Okay, so I'm going to give you a story from my own life, and typically that's how I learn, But my husband and I dated when I actually fell in love with him when I was 17 years old. And I always had a limiting belief in my own life that I just wasn't good enough. It came from the way I was raised by my dad and my brother's opinion of me. And even though I was confident in myself in a lot of other ways, I still felt like I wasn't good enough. And I always felt an insecurity about being lovable. Okay, that sums it right up. So when I met my husband, we were very, very good friends for about 6 months, and we fell in love, and our relationship was very, very strong. And I was madly in love with my husband, and he loved me a lot too. I mean, I'm not going to say he didn't thoroughly love me, but I had a deep insecurity about feeling like I was lovable. And because of that, now listen to me here, because of that insecurity, it actually produced it stirred up where my husband was actually treating me disrespectfully, and I think disrespect kind of sums it up, wherein I would put up with things. I had no boundaries because I didn't feel like I deserved to be treated a certain way. And it eroded our relationship. It completely eroded our relationship. And I would Daryl's, one of his famous things that he did at that time, I did something that was wrong, and mind you, what he considered wrong at that time would be like paying a bill that he didn't feel like we could afford, and he would be mad and he would give me the silent treatment. Hey, Mushroom Mouth, thank you for joining. So it was our relationship was eroding, and I became desperate to cling on to him. And so I became I would beg him, oh, please talk to me. Oh, I can't even hardly believe I said that. Please talk to me. Why are you mad at me? And it was like the more insecure I got, and the more I lacked my own inner woman confidence, the more our relationship eroded, and the more tension there was, and the more I was needy. You see what I'm saying? Does anybody relate to what I'm talking about? Well, one day I got my hands on a book at the time. This is probably in the early 80s. And I got my hands on a book that was called Love Must Be Tough. And it was by James Dobson. Yeah, it's stretching my memory a little bit on this. But anyway, I read this book, and I am telling you, I saw myself on the pages of that book, and I did not like what I see, and it made me realize how I was acting, and how if you act like a doormat, you'll be treated like one. Nobody's wiping his boots on your back, and you need to stand up and act like you're worthy because you know you're worthy. And so it put me on a mission to really change my identity. And I am telling you, this book changed my life so much. It changed my perspective and my whole it was a paradigm shift, a 100% paradigm shift. That what was really interesting was my husband came home that night. Hey, Justin, thanks for hopping in, huh? My husband came home that night, and he he had a different girl in the kitchen. I think back about how much I changed. Hi, honey. How much it changed, how much this book changed my life, that I totally changed. My poor husband had a lot of shifting to do to adjust. So what I'm saying to you, and thank you for inviting your followers, and I would love for you all who are hopping in to invite your followers as well and get them in, because this is a very, very important very timely topic. So what are you doing? Now these are just some quotes that men have said about their wives that they love. They are basically saying, it kills me when I tell her I love her and she doesn't believe me. Okay. That was from a 37-year-old man. This is from a different guy. I'm afraid to tell her I love her or do something nice for her because it always blows up in my face. Okay? And because neediness is a constant insecurity and is toxic and will actually suck your marriage love drive or your relationship drive. You get involved in any kind of a relationship. I have several of my friends right now that are actually dating online, and they keep going into a cycle of defeat. Now, when there's a cycle of defeat with several people and you see the same thing happening, then the common denominator, my sisters and brothers, is you. So you have to take a hardcore look at yourself and say, what is in my belief system that is producing this terrible result? Okay, so men aren't women, and they're not going to respond to women the same way a woman is going to respond to a man. So don't expect a man to express his love for you the way you would express your love for him. Women, I love this definition. I think it's really good. Love to women means he's obsessed with me like a vampire. He desires me and only me. He would protect me from dragons, and I will be his forever. That's what love to a woman is. A man is okay, girls, are you listening? Hi? Are you got your pen and your paper? Because what I'm telling you right here is absolutely key. How you draw a man to you, how you keep him to the point where you can actually, like my husband and I are together 42 years and he is the love of my life, and I know that he adores me and he shows it to me 10 times a day. So how do you make him feel? What do you do? What are your actions that make him feel like he is the most significant man in the room? Whether you're with 20 or 2, are you investing yourself and making your man feel fabulous, adored, respected, and appreciated? Oh my gosh. And the appreciation factor here is absolutely key. Okay, girls, I want you to write in here, he needs appreciation and respect. And guys, what she needs from you is obsession and devotion. You know what? I think this is so funny because one of my languages of love, and that's going to be one of the things I'm going to talk to you about right now, is how to understand languages of love. But one of my languages of love is time, quality time. And I need to know that he's all about me. And I'll tell you what, my husband, when I walk in the door, if I've been gone, he gets right up and runs to the door and meets me. And I do the same for him. If I'm in the room and he's watching a TV program, he stops the TV program, pauses it, and makes sure to connect with me and ask me about my day. Right there, he's filled my tank. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him. Do you see? For a woman, it's all about obsession and devotion. Yes, I am married to a great man. But what I'm telling you, I'm going back to those years, way, way, way back. And I'm telling you that I was losing him. And how was I losing him? Because I didn't know and love myself. God is so amazing. Every single thing He gives us everything we need for life in Scripture. Everything. Every single problem, every single area of our life, He gives us solutions in Scripture. And there's two scriptures here that I want to share with you, that I want you to recognize. And this is the key to making your man adore you and making other people be drawn to you. And that is, number one is Matthew 22:39, is love others as you love yourselves. Okay, so what does it look like to love yourself? How do you love yourself? Do you get up in the morning first thing, and the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh my gosh, my hair is gross, my face is disgusting, I'm overweight, I'm disgusting, nobody loves me, I don't deserve it, and you just start down I never do anything right. I wonder if, then you compare yourself, look at her, she's so much better, or look, she always is successful, or I don't ever know what to wear, whatever I wear doesn't look good on me. Are you hearing what I'm saying? These kind of self-sabotaging comments can actually completely destroy your confidence. God made you uniquely and special. He made you 100% for such a time as this. You were perfectly and wonderfully formed. You are exactly, I'm so glad you don't, Alex, because a lot of people do. And you know what? I was one of them. I was so perfectionistic about the standard of comparing myself to others. And God's word says, he who compares himself amongst himself is not wise. And do you know why that is? Because by comparing yourself to somebody else, hey Paradise Pets, thanks for coming in. If you compare yourself to somebody else, you are going to automatically set yourself up to be far less than what you were designed to be. It's important when you wake up, you set your mind on what God says about you, that you're set up for success, that he's made you fearfully and wonderfully, that he counted the hairs on your head when you were born, and he knew and loved you before you were born. You are fearfully and wonderfully made and set up for such a time as this, that you're set up to be successful. The work of your hands are blessed. He's got everything he wants you to. He's given you everything you need for success and prosperity. Yes, that is God's grace. It's all about understanding his love for you, that he made you for such a time as this, and that you are set in your life, in your family, in your mate, to be the most effective person to accomplish the God-given assignment that he has for you. I love the story of Esther. It's one in scripture. And Esther was just a Jewish girl that was actually stolen out of her hometown and taken into the king's harem. And she was completely devastated. And I mean, basically for 1 year, she was just bathed and set up to be, they bathed her in myrrh and sandalwood and essential oils for a year just to make her skin perfect for one night with the king. And she was so upset. And her uncle, Mordecai, was a very, very godly man. And he actually had a wonderful relationship with her. Well, her influence grew mightily, and the king was mesmerized by Esther and fell in love with her. And during this time, she uncovered a plot that the king's right-hand man, Haman, had to kill all of the Jews. That was his plot. And she uncovered the plot, and she was going to go and tell the king. But the rule was of that time that you were never allowed, can you imagine this one, girls? You were never allowed to go into the king's presence if you didn't have his permission. And so, no, I am not a Jew, sweetheart. Anyway, so she realized that if she went to the king to tell him what was going on, she could risk being killed. And because if the king did not extend his scepter to her. The rule was she would be beheaded on the spot. And she was so troubled, and she was talking to her uncle Mordecai about the dilemma between saving her people or risking her life. And Mordecai said something that I believe is key to all of us, whether you're a man or a woman, whatever your position is, and that is this. He said, Esther, you're here, whether you do the king's work or if you do God's call on your life, whether you accomplish his purpose or not, he will get it done, whether he uses you or not. But the thing that you need to recognize is that you are here for such a time as this. That means you, Alex, are here for such a time as this. Whatever it is that you're called to, whether you're having troubles with your kids, you're here for such a time as this. Maybe your husband is really having a hard time. Hey, Terry, maybe your husband is really having a hard time with work and keeping his perspective and not being defeated. Maybe things at work are really going hard and he's feeling defeated and insignificant and unvalued. You're here for such a time as this. What about you? What about your family? What about your parents? What about your children? What about whatever you're called to do? You are here for such a time as this, and it could be just about changing the life of one person. Oh yes, just one person. Hey William, I'm glad that you're here. So understand, take the time to first of all get into your identity. Do you know who you are? Do you know what you're called to be? Do you know your value? And if you don't, then I need you to contact me. Either send me your email right now or contact me at Wild Dream Mentors, and let's connect and get your identity and get you rock solid, because when you know to love yourself, and Matthew 12:31 says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. St. Louis Business, thanks for copping in. So all of this is really important to know, that loving yourself, loving yourself is the key. You can't expect other people to love you if you don't first love yourself. It isn't your husband's job to make you happy, and it isn't your job to make him happy. You all have to know. Yes, you can make each other happy by coming together in like puzzle pieces and strengthen each other. My husband does little things for my life all the time to make me feel happy. What was the book? Oh, that book title was Love Must Be Tough. It is a fabulous book on not just knowing how to respect yourself and what happens, how it sabotages a relationship when you do not. Yes, love must be tough. Thank you, Alex, for putting that in for me. So remember this, guys. Men aren't women, and they're not going to respond or communicate to you. You're welcome, hon. What's your name, Mushroom Mom? I would love to know your first name. Okay, so this is the thing. These are the 5 languages of love. And that is, and by the way, guys, God also says, get understanding, though it costs you all you've got. Matilda, well, I'm happy to meet you, Matilda. God basically tells you to understand, seek to understand more than to be understood. And that is hard to do. But if you discipline yourself, find out what your husband's language of love is, or your boyfriend. Or if you're getting to know somebody and you're just kind of wondering, is he the one? Then get out the 5 languages of love, which is another book that is fabulous for understanding how your mate gives and receives love. My husband's love language he has his 2 top love languages. Terry, well, thank you for being on Periscope. I'm honored for you to be with me today. My husband's 2 top languages of love are words of affirmation and acts of service. And so that is the primary way that he gives love, because that's how he receives love. So he would be the one to clean the kitchen for me. Or if he sees that I'm really busy doing a lot of work, he'll run and get the groceries for me. If he sees that there is anything that I need. Hey, Jolie. Thanks for being with me today. He'll run and do an errand for me. He's always doing acts of service. If he sees I'm struggling, he'll come alongside me and help me. And I actually found out a long time ago that, hi there, Mary Mannon, is that a way to motivate my husband is to say, you know what, honey, that really discourages me that when you do that or when you don't do that. That is a huge motivator to him because words of affirmation are so valuable to him. And when he does do something, I always make sure to express how grateful I am and how much what he did meant to me and how much it helped me accomplish what I needed to do and how much ease it gave to my life. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? Give me a 1 if you get this. So the 5 languages of love are acts of service, as I said, quality time, which is one of mine, gifts, giving gifts. I mean, some people just love to give gifts. That's their primary method of love. And they'll give gifts. I don't know. I think of one of my friends who's always giving gifts, and they're very, very, she always takes her time to study, and she always gives gifts that are very well thought out and so I consider dangerous. Down but God, thank you for joining me. So gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch. Those are the 5 languages of love. Take the time, get the book, The 5 Languages of Love, and find out what your significant other's top languages of love is, and find out what yours is. Talk about it. It's kind of fun, actually. And then you can actually look at your family members. And rocking the truth, I think rocking the TJ. Oh, the physical touch. Oh, yes. And you know what, Alex? All women need to be hugged and touched. And I'm not talking about in a sexual way. I'm just talking about just kindness and just the physical affirmation. One of the things I observed a long time ago when I started doing raindrop massage therapy for my clients, that many of my regular clients were women who were either single or they just did not have a lot of physical touch, and they just needed that constant. It just put their bodies more healthy. That is not just a few people need it. All women need it. It is a very crucial thing. So these are just some tips. I hope they're helpful to you. I just hope that you would consider shaking hands while introducing us to a girl good. That's okay. But a physical touch that would be more meaningful would be a pat on the back or a pat on the shoulder, touching a person's hand in affirmation and just connecting with them. That would be more of an idea for a physical touch for a friend. So Soul Stretch, thanks for joining. So guys, those are my tips for today. For those of you who just came in, I'd love you and be honored for you to watch the replay. Oh, but it's a new person. Oh, I see what you're saying, Alex. Yeah, that would be, you have to just have common sense and just use discernment on that one. Okay, so if you are looking to motivate your man, or if you're looking to increase the vitality of your relationship, these are key points, and I hope they've been helpful to you. I'm Donna Capin, and it's my pleasure to be with you today. I am going to be and you said my next topic on next week. Let's see, this is Friday. Actually, I will not be here Monday. I will not be doing a broadcast on Monday because I'm actually going to see my doctor in Ann Arbor. So I'll be missing on broadcast on Monday, but I will be with you again on Wednesday. If you're looking to really get yourself in a solid place where you just aren't sure about how to make yourself that confident, attractive woman that not only makes your man thrilled to death and love you to pieces, if you need to know how to do that, then contact me. Let's get a connection call going on and find out how we can get you on a path to making you, next time a man's topic, Well, that's a possibility. I could actually look about that. You have to get me more specific of something that you're looking for. I actually love it when people tell me what they would like a man's topic to be about. Okay, so you guys all have a super blessed weekend. Let me know at Wild Dream Mentors that you're looking for a connection, and I'll be honored. I will be telling you that I am working on my e-course, and I am looking forward to telling you more about that. Really excited. I'm in the final stages and getting ready for recording, so looking forward to see that, and I will see you on Wednesday. Have a very, very blessed weekend. Oh, it was really nice to have you here. I'm really honored that you were here. Thank you, Ava from California. Have a really blessed weekend, guys. I'll look forward to seeing you around the web. Bye.